Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. MPs are demanding answers over a review of senior state servants ordered in the wake of the Commission of Inquiry. The man in charge, former Auditor General Mike Blake, says he's looking into the matters raised with him, including key documents he didn't have.
It was a review intending to clear the names of department secretaries. It's now raised more questions.
The Blake review was supposed to provide answers. I don't think it's answered the questions that I have and that Tasmanians have.
MPs left disturbed and angry after a briefing by former Auditor General Mike Blake on his assessment of actions taken by heads of government agencies against child sexual abusers, bemoaning incomplete information given to him and a, quote, lack of curiosity by the reviewer.
He didn't have all the information he needed to make an assessment, so it needs to be redone. It's fundamentally flawed in its current form.
So Mike Blake has provided his report. We've accepted that and now we'll consider the findings.
Mike Blake told 7 Tasmania News he was taking steps to address matters raised with him, but doesn't have the authority to go further at this point in time. Labor today indicated they'll restart a scrutiny committee in the lower house. Meg Webb to do the same in the upper house. It's not the only trouble the government's facing, as the timber industry stands with Labor, following a Liberal election policy to open up more native forests for logging.
It wasn't supported by us. We were very disappointed in their view around going forward in terms of just that plan around future the potential production forest land.
We don't want a situation where we have Tasmanians pitted against Tasmanians. We have a sustainable industry in this state.
The government not cutting its plans back.
This is about making sure that we can deliver more timber for Tasmanian homes, that we can manage the bush for fire risk.
Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
A familiar face during the COVID pandemic will now become Tasmania's top state servant. Current Department of Health boss Catherine Morgan-Wicks is the new Department of Premier and Cabinet Secretary. She'd held the health role since 2019 and as State Health Commander led Tasmania's response to the virus. Previous Secretary Jenny Gale resigned last month. 15 new social homes have been approved in Berrydale as part of the Commonwealth Social Housing Accelerator program. They're jointly funded by state and federal governments.
It's about making sure that these homes are accessible so that people can age in place and importantly that they're energy efficient.
It's about taking pressure off the cost of living and putting a roof over the heads of Tasmanians who need it most.
Now ticked off by Glenorchy City Council, they'll be completed by 2026. Eight cutting-edge medical research projects will be undertaken in the state's north thanks to the Clifford Craig Foundation. It's handed out more than $200,000 in grants to help improve the lives of Tasmanians.
It's estimated more than 642 million people are living with type 2 diabetes worldwide, and with Tasmania hosting the highest obesity rates in Australia, Dr Darren Hemstridge from UTAS is determined to help. His research grant will investigate if altering a gene improves the action of the diabetes drug metformin.
The hope is that we will identify some new mechanisms through which this gene works and through which this drug works, which might aid in the development of new medications.
It's one of 8 projects to receive funding under the Clifford Craig Foundation's latest grants program, launched in Launceston today. Palliative care specialist Dr Maxime Glanger was awarded just under $10,000 to improve designs in hospice care and quality of life for patients.
When we build hospice buildings, we're trying to build them in a way that empowers people to maintain their dignity and independence.
Perfect timing for Launceston, with plans underway for the development of a new $20 million hospice.
So how we can design spaces in a way that people can continue to live in the way that they want to live until they die.
Since 1992, the Clifford Craig Foundation has supported more than 220 scientific studies.
Grants build on a base of knowledge which will eventually come to some translational change in what we do and improve the outcomes for the people of northern Tasmania and perhaps worldwide.
Leading the way in medical research. Melinda Ogden, 7 Tasmania News.
16 of Tasmania's best boys and girls have been selected to take part in the Tennis National Championships, the Jack Pizzi Cup in Hobart next month. And captain of Tasmania's women's team of 8, Alicia Dale, is ready for the challenge.
I think the team is pretty well prepared and we're all just kind of doing our own thing as well in preparation for it.
The Pizzi Cup has for many years now been the pinnacle of tennis for under 18 players across the state, and it's a huge opportunity for them to showcase that on the national stage.
The Tasmanian team will be among 126 top young players from around the country competing for the title. Kids across Tasmania have put their best foot forward, taking part in 3 days of school holiday footy clinics. It's hoped the programs will inspire the next generation and encourage uptake in the sport.
Potential future Tassie Devil recruits taking to the field today, showcasing their enthusiasm and skills.
Go Devils!
AFL Tasmania hoping to take advantage of the hype over the new football club.
It's a great time to be celebrating. Today is 1 month since the launch of the Tasmania Football Club.
Hundreds of budding footy stars have put their love for footy on display over the last 3 days, with school holiday workshops held in Penguin, Launceston and Kingston.
Really cool to get to see the Tassie Devils and make new friends.
Many youngsters also keen to set foot in a future stadium.
It's really good. Hopefully the stadium happens.
And when we talk about the excitement of what's coming with the Tasmanian AFL team, like this is what we're talking about.
These clinics are the latest offerings encouraging Tassie kids to take up footy. NAB Auskick and AFL Superkick are already running across the state.
I look forward to the day when one of these young people, and actually multiple young people, get their name called up in the draft and be able to take the field for the Tasmania Devils.
It's hoped the workshops will encourage more kids on the field and inspire to make it to the AFL and the AFLW. Rebecca Gaydaneris, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmanian Senator is pushing to break up the supermarket duopoly in the state by bringing more competition. Senator Nick McKim wants to see chains like Aldi set up shop to help slash grocery bills.
The Greens established this inquiry to bring food and grocery prices in Australia down. We can get more competition into the sector. It'll be good for our farmers, it'll be good for workers in the supermarkets, and it will be good for shoppers who will see prices on food and groceries come down.
The Greens are hopeful this week's Senate inquiry will lead to some change.
After the JackJumpers' denials early this week, it's now confirmed they have in fact secured their first free agency signature in Gorjok Gack. The near 7-foot-tall forward comes from southeast Melbourne after a year at the Bullets the season before. Scott Roth calling him a great rebounder and shot blocker. When Bridge North hosts Georgetown in the NTFA this weekend, there's more than just the traditional Alan Stevens Cup on the line. 100 years of country football history is being stirred up as they play the first heritage game, a nod to former West Tamer clubs which paved the way for today's competition.
Exeter, Beaconsfield, Beauty Point, Rosevis, Sidmouth, Frankfurt, Rowella. Plenty of places that have had football clubs that don't anymore, and Bridge North are the only one left going from that competition.
With around 400 games to his name, mostly for now defunct Exeter, Mike James will be cheering on Bridge North.
From someone that's always been extra involved in Bridge North, it's a little bit hard to say, but tradition between Exeter and Bridge North was always hard fought, and two towns close to one another that didn't like one another, so it created a good atmosphere.
The Parrots have recreated the former West Tamer rep Guernsey, especially for the game. Glenorchy are sticking to their guns this weekend, undeterred by the walloping handed to them by Lauderdale and hoping to cause a major upset against Adelaide's North Launceston.
What's the game plan? Try and win. Stick to the way we played against North Hobart, play that possession game, make sides defend, and then just surge the footy forward and just try and get that scoreboard pressure on.
Lauderdale's coach is returning Josh McGuinness to the back line for their meeting with Launceston after spending most of last Saturday in the midfield. Clarence face Kinborough at Blunston Arena. Victoria's Mount Misery will hopefully be anything but this weekend for the Tassie riders flying over for rounds 3 and 4 of the Australian Off-Road Championships. Sprayton's Jonty Reinders goes in sitting second in the E2 standings, needing to better Daniel Milner, who's returned to Australia after a few years on the World Championship circuit.
Yeah, he's been racing around the world for a long time and has some really good results behind him. So having Daniel here, we've got to lift our game. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting in front of him this weekend.
Fellow Northwest rider Kyron Bacon is leading the E1 standings. A 14-year-old Australian record has been sent tumbling by Kaylee McEwen at the National Championships on the Gold Coast. The triple Olympic gold medalist dominating the women's 200 metres individual medley final, bettering Stephanie Rice's mark by 0.04 of a second.
She's gone even faster than what she did this morning at 2:06.99.
Molly O'Callaghan winning a world-class 100 freestyle final from Meg Harris and Olympic champion Emma McKeon. Former Launceston swimmer Ariane Titmus taking gold in the 800-metre freestyle. Sandy Bay's Matilda Smith will race in finals tonight, qualifying third fastest in the 100-metre breaststroke after winning her heat this morning. Hobart's Max Giuliani falling short in his 200-metre freestyle just moments ago, staging a comeback from 9th to finish 5th.
Good evening. It was indeed a very moody day today as a cold front crossed Tasmania and showers extended throughout. Hobart, the state's top with 19, Launceston and Burnie 16, Devonport 17 degrees. Further out we saw 19 recorded at Bushy Park, St Helens and Friendly Beaches. Flinders Island 17, King Island, Wynyard, Low-Head and Maria Island all 16. Strawn 15, Lyowini 12. A very chilly day at Harts Mountains with just 8 degrees. A cloud band is crossing over the state, beginning to clear about the northern and central parts. Low cloud is seen covering the southeast of the country, associated with a passing cold front. Cloud lies about New South Wales and the southeast coast of Queensland due to associated thunderstorms. Tomorrow, a strong yet slow-moving high-pressure system will extend over southern Australia. South to southeasterly winds 15 to 25 knots, reaching up to 30 knots during the morning about the east coast. Southwesterly swells increasing to 3.5 metres. Now, a strong wind warning has been issued for coastal waters between east of Flinders Island to Tasman Island, to include Bank Strait, Franklin Sound. Hobart 18 and partly cloudy tomorrow. Possible early showers for Huonville and Campaign. They're also expecting a top of 18 degrees. A lovely day in the north. Launceston and Devonport sunny 19. Sunny also in Georgetown 20 degrees. Fine in Burnie and Wynyard 19. Partly cloudy in Strawn 16's the top. 17 and partly cloudy in St Helens, showery in Swansea 16, cloud likely for Port Arthur 18's the top there. To the all-important weekend forecast now. Saturday fine apart from light showers developing about the west during the day. Sunday light showers remain about the west, although we may wake to possible morning fog. Monday light showers will continue about the west of the state with possible afternoon showers likely in the north. Hot and sunny with easing winds in Broome 37. Sunny also for Alice Springs and Perth. And Adelaide can expect morning showers 20 degrees the top there. Right now, this Thursday evening, mostly cloudy in Hobart 13, partly cloudy in Launceston with 14 and also 14 in Devonport. It is, of course, day 3, Kim, of the school holidays, and I hope our Tassie kids across the state are enjoying their break.
Well, that is all we have for you tonight. I'll be back later with updates. The footy is coming up next. Good night.